have done it.
Well, alright guys, for the very, very first time since 1982, Aston Villa won their first European trophy, their first UEFA Europa trophy, as well as Unai Emery's fifth UEFA Europa trophy as well, to complete the 5 period as well of the Spanish manager. That's how we welcome you to the Thursday edition of Sports Cruise live from 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. In other news as well, just ahead of the Three Lions of England releasing their 26-man squad for the World Cup, it is also expected that Manchester United defender, talking about Harry Maguire, as well as former Chelsea defender Tomori, are set to miss out on England World Cup squad, just as the squad will be announced tomorrow morning. Well, for Senegal as well, they've also decided to release their official 26-man squad as well for the World Cup. Same thing for the Egyptian national team, just few days to the commencement of the World Cup. Don't forget that the Tripartite World Cup, first of its kind, will be commencing on the 11th of June 2026. And talking about other sport as well, the world of cricket, Nigeria is set to host the first ever ICC Cricket World Cup Africa Qualifiers C, and just ahead of the Roland Garros, talking about the French Open, we can now confirm to you that Novak Djokovic has now confirmed the appointment of his long-time friend, talking about Victor Troicki, just ahead of the French Open. We would also this evening rather get to talk about what's it called now, the recently released squad for the Super Eagles of Nigeria Unity Cup clashes that will be coming up in a few days from now. By tomorrow, 𝐴ᴏ will be leading the boys, and of course expected in the team are the likes of Victor Osimhen, Lookman. We also have Alex Iwobi, we also have Wilfred Indy. They all making 𝐴ᴏ Sekocel's team. And for the June friendlies that we will be playing against Poland, as well as World Cup bound Portugal, it is also expected that 7 MPFL players will be included in that particular one. So again, guys, welcome to Sports Cruise live from 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Just move on up. Well, it's time to move one up. I think it's no longer news that Arsenal, have been crowned. Well, maybe not crowned, but I think they've been confirmed as champions elect. We'd also get to, still talk about, reactions, following Arsenal's victory. I was listening to Mikel Arteta, this afternoon when he said that he decided to leave the boys 20 minutes away from the full time of the game between Manchester City as well as Bournemouth, just because he felt that the energy he had was not going to be able to suffice, and he just decided to just go home, go and enjoy the moment with his family and his first child, or his first son rather, after the at the end of the game between Man City and Bournemouth, just ran to him and then congratulated him and told him that they were champions. So again, guys, welcome to Sports Cruise 98.3 FM at the sound of Lagos. We also have the NBA playoffs still going very much strong. We'll get to talk about all of that this evening. We'll also talk about how Aston Villa as well could possibly open the door for another Premier League team to qualify for the Champions League. We could be seeing about 7 Premier League teams playing the UEFA Champions League for next season, by virtue of Aston Villa winning the UEFA Europa League. So again, guys, welcome to the show. My name is Aɗitomo, also known as Agbatomi. There's also the superstar as well, ᴑᴏ Akinode, I say champion ᴑᴏ Akinode, who also joins the show this evening. ᴑᴏ, good evening to you. It's been a wonderful day. How's the day been so far for you?
It's been really stressful. Lagos Sun showed me shege today, but of course you have to get the job done, and then the show has to go on. But I find it really disrespectful the way you mentioned that Arsenal they may have been crowned champion. Let's get it straight.
They've not been crowned champions now.
Let's get it straight. Arsenal are the champions elect of the English Premier League
2025,
for the 2025-2026 season. So what that means is that next season they are introducing 2 new jerseys. Their third away jersey and a new second jersey at home that will be used mainly for their European home games. And both of those jerseys would have the gold badge. I just want to put it in context. They will have the gold badge, and Arsenal will play the Community Shield against Manchester City
as champions.
If they win the UEFA Champions, they will play the UEFA Super Cup against Aston Villa. I'm just putting it in context for you, right? So that when you are talking, and then when you are introducing Arsenal next,
Arsenal,
you put it in context that the champions of the English Premier League,
the champions elect.
I'm saying, I'm telling you again. You see, after 20, in fact, they should give Arsenal 22 gold badges because they waited for 22 years before eventually came. So you cannot come in and want to use Aston Villa that won Europa League to eclipse Arsenal.
But Arsenal still have a golden Premier League trophy. They are the only team.
Baba, Arsenal at the moment, nothing else matters. The only thing that matters is that you have to put that respect. Maybe you will not understand that when 𝐴 returns to Selhurst Park on Sunday for Arsenal's and Crystal Palace last game of the season, 𝐴 left Arsenal, came back to Arsenal. They've never won the league. The first season he came back to Arsenal, he won the league for them. And the first time he will be going back to Selhurst Park, not as a Crystal Palace player. Crystal Palace players and the manager will form guard of honor for 𝐴 that left them 10 months ago. That scored some of the greatest goals in their history. That scored the goals that scored in the final to win them the FA Cup.
Exactly.
So that in case you don't know the gravity of what Arsenal have done, 𝐴 was released in Arsenal at the age of 13. He played for 5 different clubs. 2 as an amateur, 3 professionally. And then he had the chance to be struggling for relegation with Tottenham Hotspur or win the league with Arsenal. So the last 10 months have been crazy for him.
Imagine if he had
won the FA Cup. He's won the Community Shield. He's won the Premiership. He's on his way to winning the Champions League. So imagine if he has gone to sign for Spurs. To
Spursy.
He would have been struggling with them right now. So when you are introducing Arsenal, you should put some respect in that name. Otherwise, there'll be problem. And for Aston Villa and 𝛚ᴜ, and I've said it, 𝛚ᴜ can qualify a country for the World Cup and lose.
I'm telling you.
𝛚ᴜ can carry Aston Villa to Champions League final and lose. 𝛚ᴜ can be leading the Premier League with 29 points and still lose. But you see that Europa League.
That's his bet, right?
So you see what I found out yesterday? That every team is won the Europa League with avoid Villa in it. Sevilla 3. Villarreal 1. Aston Villa 1. Give me my check. This was champion stuff.
That one said
so maybe the reason he could not win it with Arsenal was because there's no Villa in Arsenal.
Because he took Arsenal to the final of the
Europa
League.
He has played 6 Europa League and UEFA Cup because he won the last UEFA Cup with Sevilla.
Yes, with Sevilla,
then
exactly.
the name was changed to Europa League. So he won it with Sevilla 3 times on the bounce. Back to back.
Yes, he
right?
took Arsenal to the final.
2012, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
Then he won it with Villarreal in the 2020-2021 season.
When he defeated Manchester United.
Then he lost that one of Arsenal into
Chelsea.
Yeah. So the only one is not one out of 6 was one that does not have Villa in it.
And that's for Arsenal.
Villarreal, Sevilla,
Aston Villa.
But
before you also leave as well,
you have to win the league to get this kind of inspiration. You don't understand.
Before we get straight into it as well, just a couple of hours ago, we got the confirmation that 40-year-old Manuel Neuer decided to come out of retirement to be Germany's freshest goalkeeper at the FIFA World Cup. And I'm very, very sure that the new crop of goalkeepers that we have now, that Germany have at this moment, will perhaps be tired of, say Manuel Neuer deciding to come out of retirement.
He's not making them to get it.
I mean, imagine a goalkeeper of Mark and Ter Stegen's quality not being the freshest of his country.
I would say it's sometimes for goalkeepers. The older the better for them. I remember 2006 season when Arsenal got to the final of the Champions League and lost to Barcelona. Jens Lehmann was the best goalkeeper that season. In fact,
He conceded the fewest goals.
He didn't concede a single goal in over 900 minutes of Champions League football until from open play. Until he got red carded in the final, and he still didn't concede a goal until he was red carded.
Yes,
because the game was goalless when he was red
yes,
carded.
before
Almonia that came in and considered
those two goals.
You look at some of the greatest goalkeepers. How old was Van der Sar when he joined Man U from Fulham?
He was in his late 30s.
38 or thereabout, and he still went on to win the Champions League.
They won multiple Premier Leagues.
Look at all of these great goalkeepers. So sometimes for goalkeepers, the older, because of the vintage points they are on the pitch, they see more than everybody else.
And there is less of running.
Exactly. So you look at it from that perspective. But for Neuer, and I will say this, and I would like to be proven wrong, I think Manuel Neuer is the most complete goalkeeper we've had in modern football history.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's the best goalkeeper. I'm saying he's the most complete goalkeeper we've had in modern football history. And I'm not saying in the last 10 years. In modern football. So modern football is relative to you. You can say 50 years, you can say 20 years, you can say 10 years, you can manage coaches, goalkeepers. But Manuel Neuer is the most complete goalkeeper we've had in modern football history. And I wish we had all of the time to look at it. But if he comes out to say, you know what, I don't want to retire anymore. I've won the World Cup before and I want to win it again. If he thinks that the German squad has got enough quality in them and then they can compete at the World Cup, why not? He has the right to.
He has the right to, exactly.
Yeah, nobody can stop him from. The way the Super Eagles also have the right to go and play Unity Cup when their mates are at the World Cup. Neuer also has the right to come out and say, you know what? I don't want to be in retirement anymore. I still feel I'm good enough. I still feel I'm solid enough. Although you almost have a feeling that, well, maybe it's time we start thinking of, let me leave nationality. Let me see if I can still focus on Bayern. I don't know how long it's going to be with Bayern.
Exactly.
There was a time in the Champions League.
It's not decided to renew his contract for 1 extra year.
That's because it's that good. Like I said, there are some players that they will choose to leave when they want
to leave. Exactly.
Ronaldo, Messi, Manuel Neuer. These guys will leave whenever. Luka Modric,
same for André Onana.
Lewandowski, André
Onana. He's going to leave Manchester United when he wants to leave.
Ona what?
Onana.
Ona who?
Well, for the English, what's it called now? What's it called? The Three Lions of England. Their squad is expected for tomorrow, and it looks like Phil Foden and Harry Maguire could be missing out of at the World Cup. Let's go on a quick break to pay some bills. When we come back, I would also try as much as possible to analyze all of these things we've outlined, and then I would also try as much as possible to pick your calls. Don't forget as well that apart from listening to us from your normal terrestrial radio, you can get to listen to us from any part of the world, either on social media, or you can listen via our official website www.mainlandfm.com, or via your normal Radio Garden platform. That's go on Radio Garden, search for Sᴘᴏ 98.3 FM, or you go through via social media, that's either Facebook or YouTube at Sᴘᴏ 98.3 FM at the Sound of Lagos. Let's go on a quick break to pay some bills. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The Sound of Lagos.
In a world where only the smartest survive, 6 champions enter, but only one will be crowned the ultimate quiz champion. Oh yes.
If you're between 11 and 15 years old, the competition is hot this Children's Day. Get ready for questions, tricky riddles, and mind-blowing fun. Think you're the fastest, the smartest, the unbeatable champion? Then come prove it. Date: it's happening on Children's Day, Wednesday, May 27. Venue at Mainland 98.3 FM. Time 10 a.m. Amazing prizes, bragging rights, and one big trophy.
Send a text message with your name and age to this number:
0913 600-0420. Children's Day Quiz Competition. Come, let's play and have fun. Proudly sponsored by School Revs by RevoCube.
I was a ghost, I was alone. Given the throne.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom. Sit up, supreme noodles. Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom. Sit up, supreme noodles.
Just sit up, supreme noodles. It will spark up your mood. So delicious, so tasty. Young and old, them love it. Spring it chewy with better aroma. Rich with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles, boom, boom.
Sidap Supreme Noodles with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles, boom, boom.
Sidap Supreme Noodles.
OneXBet, where sports come alive. Join the game on promo on the site or app. Win an iPhone 16 and cash prizes up to 750,000 naira. Enter promo code Nigeria on and boost your game. OneXBet, game on, together in the game. Bet responsibly. 18 plus. T's and C's apply.
In a world where only the smartest survive, 6 champions enter, but only one will be crowned the ultimate quiz champion. Oh yes.
If you're between 11 and 15 years old, the competition is hot this Children's Day. Get ready for questions, tricky riddles, and mind-blowing fun. Think you're the fastest, the smartest, the unbeatable champion? Then come prove it. Date: it's happening on Children's Day, Wednesday, May 27. Venue at Mainland 98.3 FM. Time 10 a.m. Amazing prizes, bragging rights, and one big trophy.
Send a text message with your name and age to this number:
0913 6000420. Children's Day Quiz Competition. Come, let's play and have fun. Proudly sponsored by School Revs by RevoCube.
I was a ghost, I was alone. 두어진 길 속에 given the throne.
Chai, my head oh. Oga landlord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so, you don't do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people oh. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Thank you Oga Luta. I don't dey kampe.
Luta, brand of Artemata and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luta. Malaria's in big trouble.
Supreme noodles, boom, boom, supreme noodles, boom, boom.
Sidap Supreme Noodles.
Supreme noodles, boom, boom, supreme noodles, boom, boom.
The Sidap Supreme Noodles, it go spark up your mood. So delicious, so tasty, young and old them love it. Springy, chewy with better aroma. Rich with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles, boom, boom, supreme noodles, boom, boom. Supreme noodles, boom, boom, supreme noodles, boom, boom.
Sidap Supreme Noodles with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles, boom, boom.
Sidap Supreme Noodles.
For you, every day is day one. Day one for you to give 100. 100 on the tracks, on the road, at work. Because it's your job to give your all. 100 with the gang. And on the dance floor. Truth is, you are not wired to give less. Your future is now. So live it real, loud, full and free. You live it 100. MTN.
Chai, my head oh. Oga landlord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so, you don't do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people oh. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Thank you Oga Luta. I don't dey kampe.
Luta, brand of Artemata and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luta. Malaria's in big trouble.
Supreme noodles, boom, boom, supreme noodles, boom, boom.
Sidap Supreme Noodles.
Supreme noodles, boom, boom, supreme noodles, boom, boom.
The Sidap Supreme Noodles, it go spark up your mood. So delicious, so tasty, young and old them love it. Springy, chewy with better aroma. Rich with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles, boom, boom, supreme noodles, boom, boom. Supreme noodles, boom, boom, supreme noodles, boom, boom.
Sidap Supreme Noodles with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles, boom, boom.
Sidap Supreme Noodles.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
Oh, yes! He done it! That's astonishing. It's absolutely world class.
This is not your regular sports show. This is Sport Cruise, only on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. From hot transfer gist to Champions League drama, from Nigeria football madness to global sport cruise, we bring the vibes, the analysis, and pure football fire.
On your marks, get set.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
No long talk. This is where sports meets swagger. No boring breakdowns, just pure energy, passion, and premium banter with your favorite crew on deck every week. Sport Cruise, where sports meets vibe.
That is a princely strike from John Duran. Open mouth or.
Hello there, your number one sports show on radio.
Yeah, say they be feeling my son from Lagos to Soweto. South African girls, them a big booty shaker. My Ghanaian girl got me hooked. My Lagos girl got me shaking. Feeling my son from Lagos to Soweto. South African girls, them a big booty shaker. My Ghanaian girl got me hooked. My Lagos girl got me shaking. I'm on a mission, looking for. Share my life with me, a true friend and my homie. With you I'll never feel lonely. Let's laugh, let's cry, let's ride together. In the sun and the rain, let's stay forever.
All right, guys, it's 1-1 right now when it comes to the Western Conference Finals after the Oklahoma City Thunders, of course, leveled against the San Antonio Spurs. And of course, the reigning NBA champions, that's Oklahoma City Thunder's star 𝐶 Alexander, beg your pardon, scored a game high 30 points to inspire his side to a 122-113 victory against the San Antonio Spurs. Well, we had 𝐶 Alexander, who has won the NBA's Most Valuable Player award for his second year in the role, also providing an assist in their second home game of the best of 7 series. Well, Spurs star Victor Wembanyama scored 41 points in the opening game, but was limited to just 21 in the second match. And game 3 and 4 is set to take place in San Antonio on Friday and Saturday. The New York Knicks lead the Cleveland Cavaliers 1-0 in the Eastern Conference Final with a game 2 in New York on Thursday.
Slow down with you, I wanna be, baby. I can't wait much longer. It's getting stronger and stronger.
All right, guys, let's quickly talk about the F1. Well, we have the Canadian Grand Prix up for this weekend. Mercedes driver, talking about George Russell, believes that he can put a turbulent start, to the season behind him at this weekend's Canadian Grand Prix. The Britain's teammate, Kimi Antonelli, is 20 points ahead of George Russell at the head of the championship after winning the past 3 races. And George Russell as well has been on pole in Montreal for the last 2 seasons and won right there in Canada back in 2005, and has now said he's learned a lot from what he admits was a very, very, very tough race, in Miami last time out. George Russell also finished 4th in Miami behind Kimi Antonelli and the McLaren drivers Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. He also said he has spent the 3 weeks break since then working with his team on the basic such as the setup of the car. And of course, he also continued by saying that he had been somewhat put to one side amid the focus on understanding the new engines introduced to F1 this year, which have a near 50-50 split between internal combustion as well as electrical power, and also require a focus on energy management. Let's just quickly talk about the race right now at this point in time. 3 races already in, and we have Kimi Antonelli, the 19-year-old driver, leading with 20 points so far. What do you make of this race with the Canadian Grand Prix coming up very, very quickly as well? I think before the season we predicted that Mercedes were the team to beat for this season, and that has proved to be so, with Kimi Antonelli raising to the top of the championship standings at this point in time. Has there been any surprise for you with the way Kimi Antonelli has been able to rise up, and how surprising has it been for you that George Russell is also still struggling with his car, Kwemi?
I thought we all agree that this season belongs to Mercedes, and I think they've made it clear even before the season started. Their engine diversification and the biotechnology brought into their engine before the end of last season. The last 2 races, they had their turbo starters, for the cars. So they tested their vehicles even before they perfected their engine transition on a competitive racetrack. And I think I think everyone knew at that point that Mercedes, they weren't joking, and a lot of people knew that all they needed to do when Lewis Hamilton left them was to re-strategize. Luckily for them, they held on to their 2 key drivers. And I'm surprised that George Russell, but I'm not even sure he's struggling. Maybe because the standard is looking high, and then we think that to have won 1 out of 3 races, and then the whole issue and all. And again, I think every other driver should just understand what is coming. For Max Verstappen, I'm not sure, because the way the F1 is structured, sometimes you think that some of these car manufacturers agree that let this car company
brand
win
or manufacturer, exactly.
Because you look at how you open your eyes and you are seeing what Mercedes is doing. They are not doing it. They are not hiding it. They are telling you that they are going into less hydro combustion, the switch gear. They are forced to races
50-50
on
combustion, and then the electrical power too.
On wet evening, they will start with super soft tires. Like, you knew what they were doing.
So why not do the same thing?
Exactly. It's not like they restricted other drivers from doing the same thing. It's not like they. I'm trying to understand that, because even when they were doing their unveiling before the season started,
the live session,
they were interviewing some of the drivers and some of everyone kept saying Mercedes. And I'm like, you people knew that Mercedes were cooking, and none of you could go and add salt or go and off the gas, and you allowed the thing to get done. Now they won the 3 races of the season, and it's looking like they also win the Canadian Grand Prix. It's looking a time of when, not if.
Because even George Russell won the Canadian Grand Prix. That was back in 2025, and right now, I will take a look at the standings as well. Kimi Antonelli is still top with 4 podium finishes, 3 wins, 100 points. George Russell as well, 2 podium finishes, 1 win, and 80 points. However, if you take a look at last year's champions, champions in the sense of the constructors championship, that is the McLaren draw of Lando Norris as well as Oscar Piastri. They both occupy the 4th and 6th positions respectively. Lando Norris is even yet to win any race so far this season. Does it look like the former champions are somewhat struggling this season?
Well, we saw almost the same thing happen to my Verstappen last season as well, where he struggled to even make any impact from Lando Norris. Although towards the end of the season, he came up, and then we had to wait for the last race of the season to eventually get the winner crowned and all of that. But I don't know. I don't want to think it's a conspiracy that if you enjoy a season of dominance, then you have to go back to the queue to start all over again. When the Mercedes were flowing, it was Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton. That was where the competition was, just like we saw last season between Oscar Piastri and then Lando Norris. The competition was between both of them. Who should step down for who should make a pit stop for who is having the race advantage, who should be allowed who to win. We saw all of those things happen when Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton were both racing for Mercedes. And then we also saw it again when it was George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. It was obvious that the lead driver and the face of the team, in fact the face of F1 as at that time, was Lewis Hamilton. Then they enjoyed that level of dominance. Then came Max Verstappen, young, erratic, dynamic, crazy, wild. He has a super fast car, and then he won the first season. Lewis Hamilton will come back. Max Verstappen won the second season. In fact, the second season, Lewis Hamilton don't win a single race in that season. The funny third season, the dominance still continue. In fact, the third season, Max Verstappen won the race won the constructors championship with 4 races to go. And you're like, how is going to stop this guy's dominance? Even the fourth one, and then Vola. He struggled the entire last season, and McLaren just came in, and then they make it very, very deep. And then we thought the dominance of McLaren was here to stay with the way both of Oscar Piastri and Norris raced the last season. And then we thought they were going to continue, maybe also enjoy some period of dominance, maybe 3 years or 4 years. But then Mercedes came back, and all through last season, Toto Wolff kept talking about the fact that they will get it right. We thought they were going to change driver. There was a time where they were rumored that they've approached Max Verstappen already. Then Toto Wolff came out to say that he wants Max Verstappen. He likes Max Verstappen. He thinks he's a fighter. He thinks, but they've never approached Max Verstappen. Exactly. And that was when the rumor of maybe Verstappen was going to renew his contract with Red Bull. But he did eventually, and then he signed a lengthy contract with them. So a lot of people were asking, wait a minute, and then now we are seeing these immediate past champions struggle.
Exactly. Well, let's also leave that very quickly and then talk about some other sports stories as well. Just as we touch on cricket very quickly, Nigeria is set to host the ICC Cricket World Cup Africa qualifiers. Of course, the International Cricket Council Men's T20 World Cup Africa Sub-Regional C qualifiers will be held in Nigeria for the second consecutive time from the 18th of October down to the 25th of October, where the ICC announced the order of qualifying in Africa earlier yesterday in a statement posted on their website. Nigeria last hosted the sub-regional C qualifiers in 2024 and won the title in Abuja with a game to spare before being denied a place at the 2026 T20 World Cup during the regional final. For this year's edition, it would also surprise you to note that the Yellow Greens, that's the name that we call the Nigeria cricket team. Yes, they'll be joined by Gambia, they'll be joined by Lesotho, they'll be joined by Mozambique, Uganda, and Zambia. So these 6 countries will now vie for the 2 top spots, with the successful teams advancing to the regional final next year. And the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Africa Qualifier 2027 will ultimately offer 2 teams direct qualification places for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup after 2 days of qualifying, and also reducing the 32 men and 32 women in singles. The stage is now set for the top seed to compete, just as the main draw of the 2026 WTT contender in Lagos got underway earlier today at the Molade Okoya Thomas Hall, right at the Thurston Balogun Stadium. Defending champion Anders Lind of Denmark, Japan's Onoka Hashimoto, France Thibaut Porret, Korea Republic's Oh Jung-sung, and India's Manafaka headline the draw. And for Lind, which is the defending champion is chasing history as the first player to defend the Lagos crown back to back, and it's also been given a lot of confidence by his strong showing at the recent World Team Championship that held in London, and the passionate Lagos crowd that carried him to glory back in 2025. And for the women's singles, we have Hashimoto, who is seeded second, facing a formidable challenge. She's going to be facing competition from compatriots Sasuke Odo, Korea's Jo Chenyu. We also have Romania's Elizabeth Samara and Egypt's Dina Meshref, who are all determined to break through as well as claim a WTT title. And guess what? With singles, doubles, and mixed doubles all on the card, as well as the sum and prize money of $100,000 at stake. Lagos is preparing for 4 days of high-octane action, where heavyweights will indeed take center stage right there at the Molade Okoya Thomas Hall at the Thurston Balogun Stadium.
And don't cry. Your folks might understand you.
All right, before we move over to football, let's talk about boxing. Moses Itaoma is now closing on a deal to face Filip Erigovic at the O2 Arena in London on the 8th of August with boxing promoter talking about Frank Warren, describing the proposed contest as a massive first for the unbeaten British Nigerian heavyweights. Warren confirmed that negotiations are underway for the fight, which will be Moses Utaoma's second main event appearance, as well as his most significant, first ever since turning a professional. And for Eric Govich, who has 19 wins and 1 loss with 14 stoppages, pushed himself to the front of the queue for the August slot after stopping Dave Allen inside 3 rounds at the Keepmont Stadium on Saturday, with Moses Utaoma reportedly watching from the ringside. And the Croatian also indicated his willingness for a swift turnaround. The 21-year-old Moses Utaoma, who is the WBO mandatory challenger and ranked number 1 with the WBA, has previously expressed his desire to face Regovic, was said to be disappointed when the Croatian was initially matched with Allen.
Just move on up. Move on up.
Well, still sticking with boxing, Tyson Fury has now promised to brutally stop Anthony Joshua when the two heavyweights would finally meet later this year, insisting his rival's chin cannot withstand the punishment he intends to inflict. The pair agreed last month to settle their long-running rivalry in what is expected to take place in either October or November, with North London's Wembley Stadium widely tipped as the likely venue. And of course, Fury, speaking in an interview, said it was going to knock him out for sure, that he's not sure Anthony Joshua will be able to survive against him and does not have any chin, and he's going to be banking on that because he's quicker than Anthony Joshua, as well as also see himself as a better boxer. Well, the fight has been agreed last month, and we're expecting a November or October date from the both of them. What exactly are your expectations heading into this particular fight? Because I think we've been able to establish that this is the fight we would have wanted to see a couple of years ago, with the both of them maybe not really in their prime at this point in time. But with Tyson Fury now going out to the media to say he believes that he's a better boxer, he believes he's a faster boxer, he believes that that Anthony Joshua will not be able to take all of his boxes on the chin. Do you see a knockout on the cards for Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua?
They should fight. They should fight and let us hear a word. They spent the last 4 years avoiding each other, refusing to sign, refusing to come negotiate. At the end, on one side is talking, Tyson Fury is talking, Anthony Joshua is talking. They are winning fight, they are calling each other out, then they turn around to different fighters. I think, like I said, we're tired. This is probably not what we would have loved to see now. But you can't take anything away from these guys. Both of them at some point in their prime were holding the 4 official titles in boxing: the WBO, the WBC, the IBF, and the IBO. Both of them shared it. Anthony Joshua had 3. And then Tyson Fury had the heavyweight, belt himself. So, and these are supposed to be the 2 of the biggest British boxers in a very, very long time. So we're looking for a box office breaker in their prime, but it didn't happen. Do they still have the command of the market? Surely. Do they still have the control of the fans? Maybe. Do they still have the markets in terms of generating revenue, in terms of pay-per-view, in terms of sales, in terms of branding, in terms of all of those? Yes. Do they still have the energy to give us a 12-round fight? I'm not sure. Do they still have the caliber to push through and even sign a rematch if both of them eventually fight? Just like the last opponent of Daniel Dubois activated the rematch clause immediately. That means that we're not going to see a Tyson Fury and Daniel Dubois fight anytime soon. So that's the question. Do both of them still have what to sell out event venues? Yes. Do they have the opportunity to pull those mega deals in terms of take-home pay, whether you win or you lose? What are you getting? So these are the things that the marketers would have to put into consideration. But one thing is sure, these will still remain the biggest British fight in a very long time. Whether they are 60 and one is 52, whatever it is. Whether Tyson Fury, I think the whole Tyson Fury thing is just a mind game. I think he's just trying to whip up emotion, because he called out Anthony Joshua that was at the ringside in his last fight. And then he was trying to make Anthony Joshua to commit himself. Anthony Joshua said, listen, you can't force me to make a decision. If you want us to talk, let's get to the table. But Tyson Fury was really pushing him and was telling him to call and all of that. So I think that's why the fact that people would have preferred to see this fight 10 years ago.
Or 5 years ago.
Or 5 years ago, exactly. But again, you just can't take anything from both of them. I still want to see AJ fight, But the truth is this: Tyson Fury is a master stroke of a body bag. He knows how to take those punches. Does AJ have that energy to last the length of what Tyson Fury wants to take him? We don't know yet. And he has the fight already scheduled after the unfortunate incident that led to the death of his two of his best friends in Nigeria last year. And then I think he's moved on. You can't move on from certain pains, but you also cannot allow yourself to get sucked in. Would his friends be happy if he gave up boxing because they died? I don't know. So I think all of those we put into context. But again, I just want both of them to fight and let's get it done. Even if they eventually settle for a draw, but at least they fought. Yeah,
I agree with that. All right, guys, let's just quickly go on a quick break right now. And when we come back, it's going to be all about football.
You know what it is. Red one.
I wanna walk the walk on every street. I wanna ball out with the world on my feet. Hit every discotheque and ask it for me, yeah. I wanna party 8 days a week.
I promise you now. Everything gonna work out. Every tomorrow, no matter what go down. I promise you now. Gonna be sticking around. Every tomorrow, no matter what go down. You know we're better together.
All right, guys, they are certainly we are better together. This is Sports Cruise on 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Just few days to the commencement of the FIFA World Cup, some African countries have now decided releasing their official squads. And earlier today, we had the Tᴜᴏᴛ Lions of Senegal release their squad, and of course we have in the likes of Sadio Mane being invited for the World Cup. Of course, due to the the controversial incident that happened in the final of the Africa Cup of Nations, where CAF decided to strip Senegal of their title. We do not even know if Senegal will be going to the World Cup, as African champions. But for the goalkeepers, we have Edouard Mendy of Al Ahly, we have Yehvan Diouf of Nice, Amori Dior. For the goal defenders, Crépin Diatta, Antoine Mendy, Abdoulaye Seck. We have Kalidou Koulibaly, Aïlai Kamara, Moussa Niakate, Mamadou Sarr. We have El Hadji Malik Diop of West Ham. We have Mustafa Mbo of Paris FC and Ismail Jacobs of Galatasaray. For the midfielders, there's a space for Idrissa Gueye of Everton. We have Habib Diarra of Sunderland, Pape Matar of Tottenham. We also have Pape Gueye of Villarreal, Lamine Camara, Monaco, Pathé Ciss, Rayo Vallecano, and Bara Ndiaye. For the forwards, Sadio Mane. Headlines, I know the squad, Bambi Dieng. We have Iliman Ndiaye of Everton, Nicholas Jackson of Bayern Munich, who will be returning back to Chelsea before the beginning of the season. We also have Assane Diao of Como, Ibrahim Mbaye of PSG, Cherif Ndiaye, Samsonspor, and Ismail Assar of Egypt also releasing their squad. And non-forward Mustafa Mohamed has been left out of Egypt's preliminary squad for the next month World Cup. A Liverpool talisman, Mohamed Salah, is also set to captain the squad and combine with Manchester City's Omar Moush to lead the attack at the World Cup, which runs from the 11th of June to July 19th in the US, Canada, as well as Mexico. Well, for the goalkeepers, we have Mohamed El Shanawi, Mustafa Subir, we have Mohamed El Allah. We also have for the defenders, Mohamed Nani, we have Tadek Allah, we have Hamdi Fati, we have Rami Rabia, Yasser Ibrahim, Osam Abdel Magid, we have Mohamed Abdul Monem, we have Ahmed Fatou, as well as Karim Hafiz. For the midfielders, we also have Mawen Atia, Mohanad Lashin, Nabil Enad Donga, Mahmoud Sabah, we have Ahmed Sayed Zizou, Mahmoud Trezeguet, we have Imam Ashu, there's also Mustafa Ziko, there's Ibrahim Adel, Nitam Azan, as well as Mo Salah, who has been included as part of the midfielders as well as attackers.
Hush now, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. your destination. Though you may find.
Alright guys, you can now join the conversations around 36410 around 36410. But before we do that, let's also quickly take a look at the full list of the squad that have been invited by Super Eagles manager Iṛsᴜ. The likes of Victor Osimhen, Lookman, Iwobi, Ndidi have all made the squads for the Unity Cup as well as the friendlies, as well as it stands. The Unity Cup squad include Francis Arthur Okonkwo, who has just received his first call-up to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, as well as Michael Atata. For the defenders, we have Bruno Yemechi, there is Emmanuel Fernandez, Chibike Nwaiwo, we have Igor Ogbu, Obinna Egboke, Elas Ochobi, as well as Chibueze Oputa. For the midfielders, we also have the captain of the side, Wilfred Ndidi, Raphael Onyedika, Tochukwu Nadi, Ebenezer Kinsomiro. We also have Alexander Yusuf, Adiremi Adioye. We have Samson Tijani, Ayobami Jr., Tosin Oyedokun. And for the forwards, we have Moses Simon, Akor Adams, Philip Otele, Owen Osheni, Zadok Abu Yohana, Theremorphy, Rafi Drosimi, as well as Femi Aziz. And for the squad for the June international friendlies against Poland, as well as World Cup bound Portugal, we have for the goalkeepers Maduka Okoye, Arthur Okonkwo, and Francis Uzoho. We have the defenders Shemi Ajayi, Calvin Bassey, Bright Osai Samuel, Bruno Yemechi, Zaidu Sanusi, Igor Ogbu, Emmanuel Fernandez. For the midfielders, we have Alex Iwobi, Frank Onyeka, Wilfred Ndidi, Raphael Onyedika, Fisayo Bashiru, Tochukwu Nadi, as well as Alexander Yusuf. And for the forwards, we also have Ademola Lookman, Samuel Chukwueze, Moses Simon, Paul Onuachu, Akor Adams. There's a different squad for the Unity Cup friendly. There's also a different squad for the friendlies against Portugal as well as Poland. I mean, what is the justification for the naming of two different squads? And in the event of new players, because if you take a look at the players to play for the Unity Cup, you find out that 7 MPFL players have been invited. Right? What's now the justification for bringing up 7 new players to the side, or 7 MPFL players to the side, when there's a probability or possibility that they might not be playing all of these games? But what do you make of the squad announcement, Opayemi?
It's just reflection, Mozu. We're proving that we have large enough squad. Be at the biggest showpiece, which is the World Cup. So you've got to find yourself and create your own, energy around yourself. But more than anything else, I think I'm happy. The fact that 7 home-based players made the squad. Whether they use them, they don't use them. The important thing is that at least they get to travel, get to mingle with the big boys. Excuse me, some notable names were also missing in the list, by the way. And a lot of people asked that Sola not played his last season for Nigeria. So a lot of those questions have been asked, but we keep our fingers crossed. And I'm not surprised that the team to play Portugal has more experienced players
and established players.
Like we saw, you see ഑ᴜᴜ. ഑�ᴜᴜ did us. He still does shake in this country in our football, but again, they say we should always find a way to move on. So I understand what the manager has done. Is just to make us understand, make us know that we have a lot of players, and we'll use the Unity Cup to give you the exposure that you need, especially if a Nigerian-based player. It's not for you to know what you want. Felt his absence at the African Cup of Nations, no doubt about that. So it's an opportunity for you to get in there and just make it count. It's one of the greatest privilege you can get in life, is to have the opportunity of representing your country.
Exactly. The Unity Cup is also set to take place at the Charleston Athletic Stadium, between the 26th and 30th of May. And the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be fighting out against the Warriors of Zimbabwe right there at the Valley on the 26th of May, just 5 days away from now, as well as 2 days after the end of the MPFL season. And then victory would also propel them to the final against the winner of the clash between Jamaica as well as India, that would also be holding at the same venue on the 27th of May 2026. Well, all right, guys. The Saudi Professional League title could be decided later tonight, because tonight, is also going to be the last, match day of the Saudi Professional League. Just as Al Nassr will be facing off against Denmark, and we also have Al Hilal also being in action later tonight. So if Al Nassr goes on to win this title again, win the game rather against Denmark by 7 p.m., it would mean that Cristiano Ronaldo will be winning his first trophy, with Al Nassr ever since 2023. For Al Hilal, they will be traveling away to face off against Al Fayya. Well, let's just quickly, take a look at the starting lineup for Al Nassr against Denmark. For Al Nassr, starting in goal is Bento. We also have a defensive centre-back partnership of Mohamed as well as Abdoulaye, and at left back we have Inigo Martinez. We also have Kingsley Coman playing at the right flank. We have Ayman Yahya. We have Abdullah Al-Kabairi. There's also a space for Sadio Mane in the first 11, and up front we have Joao Felix as well as Cristiano Ronaldo. For Denmark, starting goal is Kevin. And Denmark are deciding to start with a 5-man defense right now. Later, that will be kicking off in a few minutes from now. There's Azan Rabi. We have Jamal Akas, Abdul Kader Bedrein, as well as Abdul Rahman. And in the midfield, we have 4 midfielders right now: Jonathan Okita, Tariq Abdul, Moria Celia, as well as Dari Saya Al Nazi. And up front, there is Sampaio Arnier. Well, let's also quickly take a look at the starting lineup for the game between Al Hilal as well as Al Fayya. Starting in goal for Al Hilal is another person. Then of course Yasin Bono, and we also have defensive 3-man defense of Ruben Neves, Moteb Al Habi, and Azan Al Tobakti. And in midfield there is Mohamed Kano. We have Sergej Milinkovic Savic. We have Teo Hernandez. We also have Nasser Al Dawsari, and up front there's Marcos Leonardo Malcolm as well as Sultan Ahmed Mansda. Okwemi, Al Hilal goes on to win tonight, and if Al Nassr fail to win, they become champions of the Saudi Professional League. If Al Nassr can get a victory against their opponent, that's Denmark FC, irrespective of whatever Al Hilal goes on to play later tonight, they will be crowned champions. What are we expecting tonight?
Well, I think I may not have facts to back it up, but whatever it was that Bento did the last time out, their game in the 1-1 draw against Al Hilal, they should investigate him. There are certain things that you just have to think that this is too silly at that top level.
That error.
Al Nassr had only 10 seconds. All they needed to do was defend that particular throw,
and they'll be crowned champions.
It was a throw-in. It was not even a free kick. It was not a corner kick. It was a throw-in, and then you came out as a goalkeeper and then you punched the ball into your own net. Last kick of the game. All the players already had their hands around each other. They wanted to just jump in front of your fans, and then you drop into your greatest rival, a team that had won the league, beats you blue-black. Like, those things don't look ordinary. Maybe they wanted the excitement to still continue. I think they'll win
the end of the season.
They also lost the Asian Champions League
Europa League
version of
Asia,
Asia, and then unfortunately, but I think they're going to get it done tonight.
All right,
it's
guys,
going to be massive for them, and I think they'll get it done.
Let's see how all of that would also unfold. Thank you so much. That's the size of the package. Unfortunately, we couldn't pick some calls tonight, but by tomorrow, it's also going to be the return of the show, but this time around the Yoruba version, talking about Lori Idon Papa. Well, there's also Rio Jalpia ready to take over from myself as well as Okwemi Kiode, and that is going to be way back ways.